So what's good? What's good? Welcome back sa ating another Forex trading course, Module 3. So we are now in Module 3 and I hope may natutunan kayo sa Module 2. So Module 3 is about the basic concepts in Forex trading. So ngayon is malalaman natin, ituturo ko dito yung mga nasa lesson 1 pero more on explanation na kasi doon dito ituro malalaman natin yung mga pag-calculate ng pips, paano talaga basahin yung chart patterns, tsaka meron tayong mga candlestick na nalagdag. Mas marami na tayong matututunan dito, medyo advanced na konti. And I hope may natutunan kayo sa lesson ng part 1 tsaka part 2, module 2. So, recap na tayo sa module 2, which is tinuro ko sa inyo kung ano yung mga ano yung dapat mong malaman, or which is broker. Kailangan mo ng broker para makapag-trade. Tapos, yung leveraging nila, regulations, at saka iba pa. And I hope may natutunan kayo doon sa lesson na yun. So, let's move on to our next lesson, which is the module 3. And basic concept na tayo. So, topics po dito is understanding pips and lots. So, ngayon ay maintindihan na natin kung ano yung pips at lot size. Kasi sa trading, yung term namin sa paggagawa ng trade is through lot sizing. Ngayon, malalaman nyo na kung ano yung mga standard lots, dito tayo to lots, micro lots, mini lots, and ultra micro lots, and then reading codes and charts. So, ngayon is malalaman nyo rin kung paano na magbasa ng candlestick tsaka yung codes. So, next is understanding pips and their impact on profit and loss. So, kagaya ng in-explain ko dati, which is in pips, doon tayo kumikita at doon tayo nag-loss. It's because pips yung pinaka natin sa mga profit. Sa pips tayo nagpa-profit sa nag-loss. Yun na nga. This is short for percentage point or price interest point are a fundamental concept in foreign exchange, forex trading. They represent a smallest unit of price movement in currency pair. So, bali yung pips yung smallest price movement. Yun yung mga movement ng price na umaakit yung price, ganun. Numbers niya umaakit. So, doon tayo kumikita sa pips, which is bilang na yun yung bilang. So, next, what are pips? So, as explained, kung alam kung may naintindihan na kayo about pips, so huwag nating video patagalin ito, basahin na natin yung description niya kung ano talaga. A pip is the smallest unit price movement, as what I said earlier, move that exchange rate can make based on the forex market convention. For most currency pairs, 1 pip is equivalent to 0.001 for decimal places. Yes. And yung pips is nakikita natin in every 4 decimal places sa price. Except for pairs involving the Japanese yen. So, except sa Japanese yen. Except sa Japanese yen, right? Kasi yung Japanese yen, dalawa lang yung decimal number niya dun. So, which means, yung pangalawang decimal number niya, yung pips niya. So, where on pip equals to 0.01, 2 decimal places only. So, huwag na kayong magkakabat, iba yung price ng Japanese yen. And then, madali lang naman ito pag napupunta na kayo sa actual. Kasi, basic lang naman basahin yun. Next, pips example. Alam niyo na kung nasan to, every 4 decimal places, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and 9. So, 1 pip is difference. So, if example naman pag bumaba. So, 8, and then this one is 98, and this one is 97. So, negative tayo ng 1 pip. So, which is negative loss tayo nun kasi bumaba if nag-buy tayo. But if you are in selling position, if negative 97 yan, which is magkaka-profit ka. Depends on what positions you are entering. So, next, calculating pip value. To understand how pips affects profit and loss, it's essential to calculate their value. So meaning, it's essential for us to calculate kasi doon tayo na gumagawa ng risk management. So, okay, I will risk, kunyari, nakalong position tayo, which is buy. I hope you remember what the term of, another term of buy is, which is long. So, kunyari, nakalong position tayo. For you to manage the risk, make sure meron ka stop loss tsaka take profit. Alam ko hindi nyo pa alam kung stop loss tsaka take profit. Which means, yung stop loss is limit kung ano lang gusto mo ipatalo. And the take profit is, yun yung point, limit kung ano yung gusto mo panalunan. Kung ilan lang yung gusto mo panalo. Which is, you can calculate it, your loss. If you want to lose only 2 to 3 pips, you can adjust. And then if you want only to take profit around 5 pips to 6 pips, you can adjust. So there's then the risk management is depends on you. If you want 1:2 ratio, 1:1 ratio, 1:3 ratio, 1:1. But mostly people doing 1:1. But para sa naman sa break even, we do 1:3 para may profit naman. So next, I hope na naintindihan mo yung explanation ko, hindi masyadong mabilis. At kung medyo mabilis man, pwede nyo itong balik-balikan yung video. How to calculate currency. So, for how to calculate, which is 4 currency pairs, where the USD is the code, currency of Euro USD code, and the pip value is calculating pip value trade size is 0.001. For example, we trade 10,000 units. So, medyo hindi nyo pa ito magigits, guys. The pip value would be $1. So, meaning, sa trade ng Euro USD, if you are trading 10,000 units, pero hindi nyo pa yan ma-iintindihan kasi naka unit size yan. Which means, kung naka-standard account ka, and then meron ka ng 1 lot size, which is, ilalagay mo sa lot sizing mo is 1 only, that one is equivalent to 100,000. So, maya-maya, maintindihan natin ito. Pero, dito sa calculation, same lang yung explanation niya sa in-explain ko kanina about pips. 3 pips loss, 5 pips take profit. So, ganun lang. So, hindi na natin video i-explain natin ito kasi ganun lang din. Units lang. Madali lang kahit balik-balik pa ganun lang din yung explanation. So, dito, as you can see, yung pips is dito sa 8. So, kung sinabi ko sa inyo dati, pag umangat itong isa to is just by single number. This one is tens, hundreds, and thousands. So, ganun lang guys. Sorry, medyo yung mata ko. So, ganun lang basahin yung price niya, tsaka pips. Impact of pips on profit and loss. So, ito yung impact. The movement of the exchange rate determines whether a trade makes a profit or loss. If a trader buys currency pairs and exchange rate increases by 1 pip. So, if the trader buys a currency pair and exchange rates increase by 1 pip. So, if it increase by 1 pip tapos nag-buy yung isang trader, iita siya ng let's just say $1 per pip. So, iita siya ng $1. They make a profit equal to pip value. Conversely, if the exchange rate decrease by 1 pip, they occur loss o yung decrease o bumaba sa net. Hindi na 1 pip, which is negative 1 din yung loss niya. Kaya gaya ng sinabi ko, pag bumaba yung pips tapos nakabay ka, pag bumaba yung price tapos nakabay ka, which means it's a loss. But calculated by the pips. Kung ilang numbers, ilang pips yung nawala, bumaba, pag binaba, ganun din yung loss mo. Depende sa account type and then sa sizing ng position mo, which is yung leveraging. So, example with Japanese yen. For currency pairs involving the Japanese yen, fair value calculation differs due to the two decimal place quotation. So, madali lang basahin sa Japanese yen. So, I already explained sa Japanese yen. So, okay. So, yun dito. Sa yung makikita yung kaibahan sa Euro USD kasi ano to, basta iba yung Japanese yen kahit basta may Japanese yen na kasama sa pairs. 2 decimal places to 3 lang yung talaga. So ito yun. 1. Sa taas dito sa 4th decimal places mo makikita yung pips. Tapos dito naman sa 2 second decimal. So ganun lang. Hindi na masyadong komplikado. So lot sizing. Lot size in forex trading. So ano nga ba ang lot size in forex trading? Lots in forex trading currencies are traded in lots rather than singular units. Meaning, the way we trade in forex trading is using lot sizing. Hindi tayo nag-trade via 1x, 2x time, like ganun, mga times. Hindi tayo nag-trade ng ganun. So, we trade via lot sizing. So, the lot size represents the number of currency being traded. Ganun yung meaning nito. Maya, malalaman nyo rin yung standard lot. So, meron tayo iba't ibang uri ng lot sizing. Depende sa account type. Meron tayong standard, micro lot, meron ding cent account type. Marami ng mga account type ngayon. Dati is, doon muna tayo sa tatlo. So, we have standard, micro lot, ultra micro lot, then apat pala, nano lot, which is yung pinakamababa. Natitrade mo, we just, kung may balance ka natin, nakaka-trade ka. Standard lot, okay. A standard lot is 100 units of the base currency, which is if you have the standard lot account and then you trade USD Japanese yen. So pag bumili ka ng 1 unit ng isang USD, that is equivalent 1 lot size of USD, which is the base, and then the Japanese yen is the whole. Pag bumili ka ng 1 USD, that is already equivalent to 100,000 units, which is per lot size per 100,000 units is equivalent to $10 per pips. Maya i-explain ko yun. Ipapakita ko sa inyo yung table. This is the largest lot size and it's typical use for professional traders or institutional investors who have significant trading. So mostly, ginagamit nila to ng mga professional sa bigyan kasi madaling kitaan. Saka yung mas malaki rin yung kapital. So, then we have mini lots. Mini lots is a tenth of a standard lot representing 10,000 units. So, maliit lang siya kaysa sa standard lot. Kasi yung standard lot, 100,000. Itong mini lot is 10,000 of the base currency. Mini lots are used by intermediate traders who have less trading capital than professional traders. So, ginagamit ito ng mga traders na hindi gaano kalaki yung kapital nila. If meron kayong $50 account, you can use the micro lot also. And if gusto mo ng medyo convenient at matagal masunugan or yung safety, it's punta kayo sa pinakamababa pa, which is micro lot. So this is the next one. Micro lot. So micro lot is 1/10 of mini lot representing 1,000 unit only. So one micro lot, 1 lot size is equivalent to 0.50. I think, yes, 0.25 or something. So, hindi masyadong risky yung trades mo. Kasi pag pag nag 1 lot size ka sa standard, $10 agad. Pag 1 lot size ka sa mini lot, $1. Pag nag 1 lot size ka sa micro lot, 25 or 10 cents. So, mas ma-okay sa micro lots. So, ito na yun. So, we have standard lot. Currency units is 100 100,000, and then enter as, which is 1 lot size, is equals to $10. Mini lot is 0.01, 0.1 is $1. Pag with micro lot is 0.01 is equals to 0.1. And then nano lot is 100 units and 0.001. 0.001 yung kitaan per pips. Makikita mo rin naman yan yung difference once ginawa mo na yung trade. Once andun ka sa actual. But don't worry, pupunta tayo dun sa actual. So dito, as this is the app, this is the MetaTrader. So pag ginamit mo yung MetaTrader, ito yung makikita mo. Which is, andito yung lot sizing. Ikaw mag-a-adjust kung ilang lots ang iti-trade mo, ilang units. So, bala, 1 lot ba, or 0 point something, or 2 something, 2 lot size, ganun. Tapos, we have the sell market, and buy market. So, here, makikita natin, 3, ito yung 3, makikita natin, dito mo malalaman yung spread. So, I forgot to teach you pala, that's lesson 1, on how to do the spread is different from the pips pala. So, ito yung spread, 3 tsaka 7. So, ilang gap ba bago ilan yung pagitan nila sa 3 tsaka 7, which is 4, 5, 6, 4. Bobo ko sa mata. So, 4 yung nila, which means yung spread ng market na to is naka 4 pips spread. So, depende na sa inyo. Tapos, kahit hindi nyo na i-calculate kasi makikita naman yun sa MetaTrader 5. So, settings. Okay, magkala. Makikita yun sa settings. Next is trading codes and charts. So, to navigate the forex market effectively, traders need to understand how to read and interpret forex codes and charts. Dapat alam nyo paano magbasa ng codes, ano yung codes, at ano yung charts. So, codes meaning yung Euro GPY, Euro USD. That's the codes. Yun yung tinatawag natin codes. Anong codes yan? Anong currency pairs? So, understand yung currency codes. To read currency codes, it's essential to understand the components of conventions used in the foreign exchange market. Currency code represents the exchange rate between two currencies. Yun yung USD, Japanese yen, yun yung code. Binatawag din natin currency pairs. Which no. So, let me be clear. As you remember, tinuro sa nyo, USD, Japanese yen. Yan, dito. Dito makikita natin. Dito makikita natin. Ito yung code pala. So, sorry. Misguided information. Okay. So, I want to inform you again. So, yung pinakaunang currency, yun yung base. And yung pangalawa, sa likod, yun yung codes. So, always remember that code, which is quota, tsaka ito yung base. Base, tsaka quota. Kung bibili ka ng isang Euro USD, that would be equivalent to 1 euro, the price of the USD. European pala. So, let's go back. Understanding currency cost, right? This is in the use of components and conventions of markets. Exchange market, a currency code represents exchange rate between two currencies. Ganun ang meaning din. Next is reading currency code, saying, okay, let's read. When reading currency code, you need to understand that it represents how much of the hot currency is required to purchase 1 unit of a base currency. As I explained earlier, pag bumili ka ng isang base, that would be equal to the code, right? The price of the code. So it means, for instance, if the Euro USD code is 1.1250, it means you need 1.250 USD to buy 1 EUR. Yes. That's how I explain. Ganun lang, simple lang. Kung gusto mong bumili ng ng peso, kunyari, ng dollar, $1, dapat meron kang 58 peso para makabili ka ng $1. Ganun lang. So, basic. No need to, it's no need to complicate everything. So, let's just make it very simple. Base currency, yes, as I told you, base currency and growth currency. Ganun yung, so base currency or the currency you are buying when you trade the forex pair. And then the growth currency are the currencies you are selling when you trade the forex pair. Very simple. Ganun lang. Introduction ng the candlestick charts. Ayan. So, ngayon ay pupunta na tayo sa candlestick charts kasi ngayon alam nyo na kung ano yung mga iba't ibang term basic na mga terms ng forex, which is nandun pa tayo sa basic. Ngayon is pupunta na tayo sa candlestick charts. So ano nga ba yung candlestick charts? Yung candlestick charts, ito yung nakikita natin sa ito yung candlestick chart, or punta tayo sa trading view. Sorry. So, ito yung candlestick charts. Kung makikita nyo, di ba, pag nakikita nyo sa market, ito yung candlestick. So, yan yung candlestick natin. So, candlestick charts are type of financial chart used in technical analysis that visually represents price movement. So, ang candlestick chart pala ay yun yung nag-visualize ng price movement sa isang currency or sa market. So, movements of a security over specified period, meaning every time nag-change yung market, nag-draw sila ng nagre-represents ng candlestick. It depends by the time frame. So every time frame have 5. My time frame yan. We have 1 minute, 5 minutes. Every time frame have different candlestick. So providing insights into market sentiment and the balance of power between buyers and sellers. So yun, bali magkakaroon ng sentiments. Ano ba yung sentiments? That's market sentiments. Yun na yan. Hindi ko masyadong bigay sa sentiment. Basta, let's just make it simple. That is the use of candlestick chart. So, developed in 8th century Japan. So, ang candlestick chart, it was developed by the Japanese trader price trader who is Morihisa Uma. Yeah, the one of the earliest forms of the technical analysis, initially used to predict rice price based on true psychology and supply and demand dynamics. So, doon na-invento sa Japan, na-invento by the rice trader, isang siyang rice trader, si Morihisa Uma. So, doon na-invento yung candlestick chart. Excuse me. Next. So, how to read a candlestick charts. So, pinaka-importante sa lahat para matuto tayo mag-trade is paano magbasa ng isang candlestick chart. So, sa candlestick chart naman, ituturo ko yung sa iyo yung mga basic na dapat mong malaman in how to read candlestick charts. So, we have and the candlestick, we have the parts which is the body, real body or the body. This is the rectangular section represents the range between the opening and the closing price. Bali yung body niya ang nagre-represent ng price movement. Sa loob niyan, nandun yung price, which is if we have green body, which is more are buyers. And then if we have red body of the candlestick, kung nakita mo yung red na candle, it means that are more on sellers. So, next, a long body indicates a strong buy or selling pressure, signifying a significant price movement between an open and close. So, ang mataas daw na candlestick chart, candle, ang mataas na candle is signifies as the pressure buying or selling pressure, which is nandun makikita natin psychologically yung pressure ng buyer. Kung mataas siya, malakas. Kung medyo ganun, medyo mahina. But may mga may mga psychological or common sense lang natin. Sabihin ko din common sense na pag once mataas yung candle, which is ibig sabihin nun malakas. Pag medyo mababa is hindi pa ng malakas. Pag mababa pa, mahina. Hanggang sa meron din tayong tinatawag na candle na parang lang, isang guhit lang, which is walang decision, walang movement. A short body suggesting decision or a little price movement indicating consolidation. As I said, yung isang guhit lang na or maliit lang na body that indicates indecisive sa market. Walang tawag dito. Walang movements. So, the Marabuso candlestick is a notable variation where the real body has no shape, meaning, and we have also Marabuso. We call it Marabuso, which is no body, half candle, meron siyang candlestick pero walang body, which is only line. Hindi mo siya gaano makikita, which is wala talaga siyang direction. So, there's no need for that to, ganun yung next, shadows and wicks and tails. So, shadows or wick or tails. So, candlestick also, meron silang mga shadows at sticks. Yun yung mga nakikita yung isang line lang. Kasi yung candlestick is, di ba, nakikita natin ito. Isang candlestick. Yan. Example dito. Yan. Okay. Example ito, isang candlestick. Yung nakikita ito, wait. Yung ito na lang kasi yan. Oh, sorry. Yan. Yan yung tinatawag nating wick. Yung line na yan, line na to. Ito yung wick. Which means pumunta dito yung price, tapos ni-reject, tapos nag-close dito. So later on, I will teach you also about the candlestick body parts para maintindihan nyo lalo. So, sa definition pa lang is these thin lines extends above and below the real body. So, nag-extend siya above and below the real body, emitting the highest and the lowest price reached during the period, which means pinuntahan niya yung price na yun in that period before nag-close yung market, which is the time frame before nag-close yung expected na price. So, next. The upper shadows indicates the session's highest price. Yung nasa taas na stick, which is yun yung highest price na pinuntahan. And then the lower shadow indicates the session's low price, which means yung sa baba naman is obviously the lowest price. Long shadows suggest significant volatility, but short shadows imply the most trading or near the open and close. So, long shadows suggest significant volatility. It means daw, it suggests volatile pag mahahaba yung candle niya. Yung stick niya, which means pag ganun naman. May kinukuha sa baba, may kinukuha sa taas. So, ganun yung meaning niya. Then, next is the color. So, sa candlestick, we have the color green and red. And then, you can also adjust if you want, what color you want to decide. You want to decide which color you want. Ganun nga, pwede mong i-edit yung color. So, we have green, which is the bullish, also called for paakyat, and then the green for bearish. Yung ibig sabihin yan is pababa. The color of the real body suddenly conveys the direction of the price movement. So, a bullish candlestick, which means paakyat, typically green or white. Mostly, it is colored in green or white. Forms when the closing price is higher than the opening price, indicating upward momentum and buying pressure. Next is the bearish candlestick, which is red or black, typically mostly used, and it forms when the closing price is lower than the opening price, reflecting downward pressure, selling pressure. So, yun yung color ng candlestick natin. So, dito, i-explain ko sa inyo what are the parts of the candlestick body. So, ito yung candlestick, which is meron tayong green, meron tayong red. Sa green, the market opens or the price opens here, this area. Nakita nyo, dito nag-open yung price. Tapos, before siya mag-close, para magbuong isang candle, nag-move yan. Nag-move akyat, buga, akyat. Which means, itong wick na to, which is the lower shadow, ito ay tinatawag nating wick, W-I-C-K. Ito yung meaning is pumunta yung price dito, bumaba siya, kaso nag-reject, hindi in-approve, which means umakyat siya papalik, which is ng color green. Kung nandito siya kanina, kung bumaba siya kanina, the color is different kasi nasa taas yung open. Once yung open price is nasa baba, tapos yung price nandito, which is, it should be color green. Pero pag nasa baba naman yung body, tapos nasa taas yung open price, magiging pula na siya. Meaning, example dito. So dito, pumunta yung price, di ba? Tapos nag-reject, so bumalik, umakyat. Tapos, umakyat hanggang dito, tapos nag-reject, and then it closes here. So, the difference between the bullish and the bearish is the open price is at the bottom. Nasa baba below. Nasa baba yung opening price ng bullish. Tapos yung close niya is nasa taas. So, yan masasabi natin it's a bullish. So, opposite with the bearish. Yung bearish naman is yung opening price andito sa taas. Dito nagsisimula yung price niya hanggang sa mag-close yung Same explanation with the bullish. Pumunta yung price dito, umakyat. Once nung umakyat yan, of course, naging green kasi nasa baba na niya yung opening price. Tapos ni-reject, bumalik, bumaba. Pumunta dito sa pinaka-lowest niya, tapos bumalik, tapos nag-close. Which means, nabuo na yung isang candle. Now, it should be color red because yung opening price niya is nandito sa taas. Tapos yung close is nandito sa baba. So, ganun lang kasimple yung pagbasa ng isang candlestick. So, I hope naintindihan niyo yan. And I hope naintindihan yung explanation ko. And, okay, let's move on. Then, bullish. So, meron tayong mga patterns. Now, we will go on mga patterns na tayo. Punta na tayo sa mga patterns. We have bullish reversal patterns. These patterns typically appear after downtrend and suggest potential. Ito mga pattern na to, isa na to sa mga medyo i-explain ko na sa inyo sa siguro. Pag nagpunta na tayo sa actual, i-explain ko lang din sa inyo masyado. Ngayon muna is more on definition muna tayo, saka ganun muna, wala muna ng actual chart patterns. But in the future, dito niyo kunin yung mga idea on how to para malaman yung yung mga chart patterns. We have first is mostly common bullish reversal patterns. These patterns typically appear after a downtrend and suggest a potential shift of an uptrend. Reversal means nagano lang saglit tapos bumalik sa previous level. And we have bullish engulfing pattern. A small bearish candle is completely engulfed by a larger bullish candle. So, isa dito sa na to is medyo mahihirapan pa kayo mag-process o ano yung engulfing Ganun. So, let's try to, read muna sa mga definition because later on, magkakaroon tayo ng So, okay, bullish Harami pattern. We have Morningstar, hammer, inverted hammer. So, bearish reversal. Under bearish reversal is we have bearish engulfing pattern, bearish Harami, same. MSR. Mga chart patterns. So, hindi ko na ito yung chart patterns na yun. Kasi, magiging komplikado pa. Which is, hindi pa natin kailangan. So, okay. Pwede nyo rin anahin yan, yung mga chart patterns niyan. Mga basic na release nyo muna yan, basic guides. Pwede nyo i-search lang sa YouTube o sa internet. Pwede nyo i-search as long as na-guide ko na kayo kung ano yung dapat i-search. Okay, let's go back first. We have the bullish reversal patterns. Okay. Rekan po, pwede nyo i-post, screenshot, something. Kung kaya mo ma-screenshot sa Google Drive, kung available, kung okay ba sila or kung okay ba ma-screenshot sa Google Drive kasi may restriction din. Then, bullish engulfing pattern, Harami pattern, Morningstar, we have hammer, inverted hammer. Pero naturally na yun, makikita nyo agad to sa internet. May mga free. Makikita nyo agad lahat. And then bearish reversal pattern. And then, we have also bearish engulfing patterns, bearish Harami patterns, shooting stars, hanging man, shooting star. Then continuation patterns, suggested currents and like this, the rising, free metals, bullish. Yun yung mga pattern. And so, yun muna. So, that's all sa natin. Sa next, sa module 3 natin. So, I hope meron kayong naintindihan ngayon at naintindihan nyo rin yung pagkaka-explain ko sa lahat ng mga topics. I hope na napasok sa utak nyo, huwag yung makinig lang labas-labas. Kasi ginawa ko to para sa inyo. Guide nyo na rin to para maging isa kayong profitable trader soon and very fast kasi may guidance na kayo. And don't worry because marami pa tayong mga lessons na dapat yung matutunan. Basic, you need the basic first and then we will go to advanced and intermediate. Not totally advanced, but it's already an advanced and it will help you become profitable because sa lahat ng mga natutunan ko, the most effective way to do trading is the basic. Yun lang, the basic. No need for complicated, advanced technical analysis, advanced, fundamental analysis, like that. Then, fundamental, technical, so we will discuss that one. So, thank you, and God bless you all. God bless for, then have a nice day. So, yun lang yung module 3 natin. Tapos na. So, have a nice day.